Hello. This is Korean car blogger Mr. Park. I was curious about Kona's two powertrains and N-Line. So I quickly recruited two vehicles and put them to the test. Today's review is Hyundai Kona 1.6 gasoline turbo and Hyundai Kona 2.0 gasoline NA. Here, we compared the Kona basic design and the N-Line design. First of all, based on the Korean market, Kona N-Line is not a separate model, but an additional package option. Kona is divided into three trims: modern premium inspiration. For the 1.6 gasoline turbo model, the basic model, the modern trim, is $20,000. Based on the price list in Korea, and the N-Line design package cannot be selected. But for an extra $1,416 at $21,000 in the middle trim, you can switch to the N-Line. You can change to the N-Line for just an extra $745 in the top trim of the $23,500 inspiration. To this, a separate Alcantara steering wheel Alcantara armrest interior package option can be added for $2,050. The above price is based on the Korean market, so the price part, options, and trim may change by country. The black vehicle is a 2.0 gasoline NA engine with N-Line, and the white vehicle is a basic model with a 1.6 gasoline turbo engine. Let's take a look at the specifications of both vehicles. The gasoline 1.6 turbo vehicle is equipped with the same engine as the previous first-generation model, but shows a slight performance improvement. In particular, the first-generation model used a 7-speed DCT transmission, but the second-generation model uses an 8-speed torque converter. In addition, the 1.6 gasoline turbo model can select both front-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and the output shows sufficient output with 198 horsepower. It is lower than the 280 horsepower of the first-generation high-performance Kona N model, but it is not lacking in everyday driving. Here, the torque is 20 kilograms. And the combined fuel consumption is 13 kilometers, an increase of 0.3 kilometers compared to the first generation. The suspension has a basic torsion beam. However, if you add $1,528 to modern trim, four-wheel drive is applied, an H-Track harsh driving mode, slope low-speed driving device, and rear-wheel multi-link suspension can be applied as options. The 2.0 gasoline model is a non-turbocharged NA engine and features an IVT continuously variable transmission applied to the previous venue. The biggest difference from the 1.6 gasoline turbo is that you cannot select four-wheel drive for the 2.0 NA engine. That is, in the 2.0 gasoline model, it is impossible to change the rear suspension from torsion beam to multi-link. The maximum output is 149 horsepower, which is 49 horsepower different from the 1.6 gasoline turbo, but the actual feeling is weaker than the 123 horsepower of the Venue. The vehicle I used before was the Venue, so I only compared it with the Venue, so please just refer to it lightly. The torque is 18.3 kilograms. And the combined fuel consumption is 13.6 kilometers, which is only 0.6 kilometers higher than the Kona 1.6 gasoline turbo. Perhaps the next video will be a test drive of the Kona hybrid model. Let's compare the two vehicles after a test drive. Now let's see which part of the N-Line is different. Looking at the Kona general model, the round feeling actually gives the impression that it is okay in terms of design. However, compared to the front design of the Kona N-Line, it feels a little empty and lacking. As such, the presence of the Kona N-Line is quite good. The sharp feel of the front bumper exclusively for the Kona N-Line goes well with the image of a high-performance SUV. In addition, the N-Line is characterized by the application of horizontal LED seamless horizon lamps and full LED headlamps, just like the basic type. The wheel design is also different. N-Line 19-inch wheels were applied. However, 18-inch and 19-inch option wheels, excluding the 17-inch alloy wheel applied to the modern trim, come out well, so the N-Line wheels do not look very special. In addition, the wheel cap is characterized by applying the Hyundai Motor Company's high-performance N logo instead of the Hyundai Motor Company logo. Looking at the rear side of the vehicle before looking at the rear, the design feels completely new with only one spoiler. Compared to the base model, it shows a really good presence. Basically, the wing-type spoiler exclusively for the N-Line is designed so attractively that you want to pay tribute to Hyundai motor designers. In particular, it makes me think that the reason why the brake lamp of the spoiler is placed small in the center, rather than in a long line, is because of the N-Line spoiler. Here, a diffuser dedicated to the N-Line and a dedicated single twin-tip muffler were applied. It is a model that shows a pretty satisfactory design overall. Perhaps, if the second-generation high-performance Kona N model comes out, it will show differentiation from the N-Line by adding a high-performance image using dual twin-tip mufflers. So let's take a look inside. In fact, the interior of this Kona N-Line model is not very unconventional. There are small details, but above all, the red line across the air conditioner is impressive. However, as I said during the previous Kona test drive, it would have been nicer if the red line continued in one line without breaking. In the Kona N-Line, unlike the basic model, the red line is emphasized, and the idea is felt more. The N-Line exclusive steering wheel uses perforated leather to improve grip, and the red-colored seam line gives a clearer point than the existing black-colored seam line. Here, the N logo is applied to the bottom of the steering wheel, and for an additional $275, the steering wheel and armrest leather can be changed to Alcantara as an Alcantara option. Sometimes there are people who say that it is not Alcantara, but this time you can see that Hyundai Motors put the Alcantara logo on the seat. Metal pedals and footrests exclusively for the N-Line are also applied. However, personally, I think this option can be easily changed through DIY even if it is not N-Line. When the door is opened, a metal door scuff exclusively for the N-Line is applied, and a flag pattern used in the race is applied. But am I the only one who feels like a Mini Cooper in this part? It would be nice to have at least one N logo in the center. The most satisfying part of the interior is the seat. The combination of natural leather and Alcantara seats exclusively for the N-Line is very satisfactory. Normally, high-performance models using Alcantara materials do not have ventilated seats, but the Kona N-Line even has ventilated seats, providing excellent convenience. Above all, the most prominent red line inside the vehicle is really impressive. What do you guys think? Kona 1.6 gasoline turbo, 2.0 gasoline NA. As a result of test driving both vehicles, the 2.0 gasoline NA engine is not recommended. Both vehicles show a slight difference at the level of 1 km in city fuel economy, which is equivalent to a difference of about 1 km when the worst city fuel economy test was conducted. The same result was also shown in the case of the highest fuel economy driving. Details will be uploaded to my blog soon, so please subscribe. The output part is also very satisfactory with the 1.6 gasoline turbo, and the 2.0 gasoline model is quite lacking. In Korea, taxes are paid based on engine displacement. Therefore, a 2.0 gasoline engine with a large displacement in Korea is not attractive. In addition, this model does not provide four-wheel drive and rear-wheel multi-link suspension options. So if you purchase a Kona, we recommend a 1.6 gasoline turbo vehicle. Today, we talked about the differences between the Kona 1.6 gasoline turbo, 2.0 gasoline NA, and N-Lines. Was this information helpful? Various stories about Kona still remain, from the worst city fuel economy test to the best fuel economy driving test of the Kona hybrid model. So please subscribe and turn on notifications. Then you will be notified when it is uploaded soon. It was Rascador. Thank you.